Excited, I set off to explore the pretty hills and valleys of the Armagnac region. My first port of call on the banks of the river Baïse was Flaran Abbey, and what a wonder it is. Founded in 1151 and remarkably well preserved, the abbey is a perfect illustration of the evolution of Cistercian architecture from the 12th to the 18th century. All of the original buildings of this historical monument have survived, including the Romanesque church with the simple perfection of its remarkable 12th century chevet, and also the 13th century Romanesque cloister. In the elegantly restored monk's dormitory, I discovered a little treasure, the Simonov collection of some 100 masterpieces by European artists, paintings, drawings and bronzes dating from the 16th to the 20th century, including works by Monet, Renoir and Courbet, a collection that inspires a series of cultural events and activities at the abbey throughout the year. I then followed the path along the Baïse to the pretty riverside Bastide village of Valence-sur-Baïse, where I boarded a boat for a delightful cruise through the double lock of Graziac to the marina at Condom, in the heart of Ténarèze, a former province of Gascony famous for Armagnac. I learned that the Cathedral of Saint-Pierre was the seat of an important bishopric, and this mighty flamboyant Gothic building still dominates the town today. In the Episcopal district, I also saw a number of elegant 18th and 19th century townhouses. In May, Condom hosts the European Bandas y Penas Festival, a genial gathering of amateur musicians playing the traditional brass and percussion music of the Southwest. I left the town taking the Gers 65 long-distance footpath which pilgrims have been following from Le Puy-en-Velay to Santiago de Compostela for 1,000 years. These days there are plenty of other footpaths and cycle routes on offer too. Heading east, I came to the Collegiate Church of La Romieu, like Condom, a major staging post on St. James's Way, with its impressive 13th century towers. A few kilometers on, I learned the fascinating history of Lectoure, perched on a rocky promontory, previously a Gallo-Roman town, bishopric and residence of the Counts of Armagnac. Retracing my steps, I cycled along the Armagnac Greenway to La Rocingle, one of the most beautiful and smallest fortified villages in France, a marvel of Gascon architecture that has retained its defensive walls with their crenellated towers, 13th century castle and 12th century church, surrounded by beautiful medieval houses. The Cité des Machines Museum just outside the walls recreates a siege encampment during the 100 Years' War. I continued on the Gers 65 and took the Pont d'Artigue, one of the few surviving examples of Romanesque civil architecture and now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. A stone throw from the Bastide of Montréal du Gers, I couldn't resist stepping back in time once again at the site of Sévilla Gallo-Roman Villa. There, a local recommended a detour to the adorable Bastide of Fourcès, built in a perfect circle. Full of craft studios and art galleries, the village is transformed every April by an extraordinary flower market. All along my route, the countryside is carpeted with the vineyards of Armagnac, France's oldest eau-de-vie. At Eauze, famous for its fabulous treasure of jewels and ancient coins, I tasted the finest local Armagnac, celebrated every Ascension Day at the Foire aux Eaux-de-Vie and during the distillation period from November to March. Flaran, Baïse and Armagnac, three gems that opened the door to Gascony's unspoiled charms and gourmet experiences.